Hello, DANandJOEY0 here. We're gonna be starting a new tutorial series here. You can see called CSS Stealth. We're gonna be showing you how to stylize your web form elements, such as like simple buttons, all the way to a full web page. But here we're gonna start off with CSS buttons. You can use basic HTML code like we showed you a few series ago. If not, you can check it out on our channel. But what you can see here is under head we're gonna add some style equals text. We're gonna have the code below, so if you would like to copy that, it might help, might not. But pretty much this is what we have so far. We're gonna Control S, which is the shortcut to save it. We're gonna save it as example button.html. You always have to use HTML, not a text document. Save it as all files, and then hit enter to save. Alright, so now we're gonna go through, we're gonna search for this. Should be in here somewhere. Ah, there we go. Example text button. Off to the side here, and as you can see, we have nothing in it because we haven't added anything. So what we're gonna need to do is use the input tag, or as in HTML5 you can use but and then example /button. Now what this does is this brings up an example, just a basic button. It doesn't go anywhere. It's pretty much just a button standing there. But it's the basic Windows 7 button, and you want to stylize that because you know that's the default, and not everyone likes the default style. So you might want to add here, might want to add a class to it, equals button. Control S. Alright, that's not gonna do anything right now, but once we add it in here, it will change. Now, you might not want an outline, none, and a border. I'm not putting none this time, but if you want to add one later, go ahead and hit Control S. We're gonna hit refresh. Oops, forgot something. You have to put type in here. There we go. And as you can see, it's a simple gray button without border or anything. But say you want this button to be thicker. Change the padding by pixels, I'd say. And you can see that it's much bigger. Let's say we want to change the width. 200 pixels. Whoa, it got bigger. So then we're gonna change the height to, I'd say maybe 50 pixels. We're doing an example here, so let's make it 40. Alright, so here's your button so far. It's pretty lame right now. It's pretty lame sauce. But here's the code right now. Now this gray, it looks pretty ugly, but we're gonna want to change the color. Now there are many hex colors out there. I'm gonna use one right now that I know off the top of my head, which is just this dull green. It's not really dull, but it works, you know. Now we don't like the text here. It's a bit unworthy of being emoji. So we're gonna change the font family. Helvetica is a really clean font for the web. So if you change that, it looks a lot better. Wait. I screwed up here. Alright, so it's already set to Helvetica, it seems. Alright, so now for font color, we don't need the font in there, we just need color, number, FFF, which is white. If you don't already know Hex Colors, you can go to a Hex Color website. It is pretty bright right there. If you want it darker, you can change that also. I might change it back to darker, a darker color. I think it was 2E. There we are. Yeah, darker color. Now say we want to change the border radius. Gonna do border dash radius. Squeak. 5 pixels. Now when you refresh, you'll notice the angles are cornered. You might want to change it to 10 pixels if you want it more rounded, like this, which is what I'm gonna be doing. Alright. Now say that's your final button. Well, I mean, when you hover over it, it doesn't really do much. But there's also a class for that. Button hover. This is a hover class for when you hover over the button. It will be certain. Now you've covered all this stuff in here, so you could just change the background color to something as I don't know. And hit refresh. You'll hover. You should be able to. So I screwed up somewhere. You know what? We might have to copy the code. My computer's not working very well today. Paste. Just change this. Change that. Fresh. And voila. You can see it's a hover over. But I can also change the font too. FFF. Control S. Fresh, and when I hover over, it'll be white. We'll cover more on focusing and cover more on gradients and CSS on this button in our next tutorial. Hope you liked it, and comment, rate, subscribe. DANandJOEY0, CSS.